Hey everybody, I've got a quick little update for you. This one comes to us via 9 to 5 Google. Apparently there is an APK Insight post. What that is they decompile the APKs. The APKs are the apps that are on the Google Play Store. And one of those apps is Google's Family Link, which is basically like parental controls for Android. And it allows you to go in there and say, yes, you can use the device from this time to this time. It's a great idea. Um, anyway, the APK Insight post talks about the fact that they decompiled the newest version of Google's Family Link, and in there was some new stuff about Stadia. So I thought that I would tell you about this. Now, it's weird that I'm going to 9 to 5 Google for these stories. I've been covering the video game industry for a while, and very seldom do I come to websites like this to cover video game information, because this is usually just about like what's hot with the newest phones or whatever. But because Google makes phones and there's a lot of Google based sites out there, it looks like I'm going to have to become more well versed in their stuff. So let's talk about the APK Insight. Like I said, the Family Link app has been decompiled, and we have some new information. So first off, right here, Stadia game approval. It says, building on what we've seen before, Family Link 1.49 adds a variety of strings detailing precisely what info parents and guardians will be given when asked to approve or deny particular Stadia games for a child. This is awesome. This is one of the things I did ask John Justice about when we talked. He said, we're not ready to share that stuff yet. Hopefully that means it's going to be ready for launch, although I didn't anticipate that it would come out for launch. Maybe it's not here for launch. Who knows? This is a very cool thing. Like we're an iOS family here. And whenever one of my kids wants to download a new app, I get a little message on my phone. I look at my phone. I can look at the app. I can see what age rating it's for. I can see if there's in-app purchases. I can look at the reviews. I can look at screenshots, and I can say yes or no. And I think that that's really awesome. And the idea that this can happen from Stadia and send it to the Family Link app, I think is huge. Now, my first question, as somebody who is an iOS guy, my first question is, will I be able to do this on my phone? Because I mean, it shouldn't be all that hard for Google to give us the Family Link app on iOS and let us approve and or disapprove of purchases that our children want to make. I think that that's really important. So what exactly is the string that they found? Well, first off, right here, it says string name equals Yeti approval. By the way, Yeti, I guess, is the code name for Stadia. I don't know who actually figured that out at some point, but I guess it's pretty well known at this point. So Yeti approval section title accessibility string, and Yeti approval section title input string. So first off, these two are pieces of information are telling us what kind of accessibility the game has, like understands, like, does it have colorblind mode? Does it allow you to use, third-party controllers that have that kind of accessibility stuff built in? And then input, this is going to tell you, is this a game that, at least I'm assuming, is this a game that will work with mouse and keyboard or controller only? What kind of stuff can you expect? So that's important information to know when you are about to approve or disapprove of a purchase on Stadia, excuse me, or on a platform, because if you don't have these particular things, then you might not want to accept it. So if it's a game that requires controller only and your kid is playing on their Chromebook, then you don't want to approve that because maybe they don't have a controller. That kind of stuff is pretty important. All right, right down here, we've got string name, Yeti approval section, title, regions. For this, I assume that this is telling us, first off, what's the name of the game and what regions is this available in. So, sometimes games are available in certain places, but not in others. For instance, sometimes games quite often are not available in China because they might depict things that glorify death or something like that. For instance, like World of Warcraft, they have an undead race in World of Warcraft, and like they could see like their bones sticking through their skin and everything. And in order for that game to be released in um, in China, they had to change the models so that that wasn't a thing. They also are showing us languages here. That's very, very important. What languages is this game available in? If a game is not, I don't want to say translated because that's not the word that the gaming industry uses. And for some reason, I'm spacing on what game, or I'm sorry, what term they use. Anyway, um, oh, it's right on the tip of my brain. It's going to come to me about halfway through the video. If it's not translated into your language, then you probably don't want your kids buying that. This is very interesting. They're going to or distinct. They're going to create a distinction between the release date of the game on Stadia and the original release date of the game. I don't know as a parent that I would really care about that, but I always like when they give us more information. And just like I said, it just occurred to me what it's called. It's called localization. So not translating, localization. Translating is just straight up changing the words over. Localization entails a little bit more than that. Um, Other information that we have additional game details, which I have no idea what that really means. Then we have parental consent. This I assumed that all of this was parental consent, so I'm not sure about that. We have the description. Obviously, this is going to be where the store is telling you what does this game do. Gives you more game details, who the developer is, what genre it is, how many players it's going to be. Like, is it a single player? Is it a multiplayer game? Who the publisher is? What is the age rating? This is huge. Being able to see that this is rated for E for everyone or something. So, for instance, my son will ask for a game. He is 11. I will look at it. It says 17 plus or something on the App Store, and I say decline. It's super easy. Let's see what else we have here. We also have Family Library. Stadia Link 1.4.9 also adds some of the strings, expanding on the idea of having Family Library of Stadia games. Now, just because they use the term Family Library, this does not mean that you are sharing stuff. When I asked John Justice about this, I said specifically, when I buy a game, am I buying that and then I can share that with my family, or am I buying it for just me? He did not have an answer for that, and hopefully we'll have an answer on that soon. But they are using the term Family Library. This could just mean these are things that are approved for members of your family. So here it says review games. So I think it'll allow us to see the game's reviews based on what people say. And then here it says gender, select other. These are games you've already it says right here, these are games you've already approved for person. Choose if you'd like to block access to any of these games. They can always be re-enabled. So I'm not sure why that says gender there. That's kind of weird, but this is huge. The reason why this is huge is because I can say, all right, you can play this game from this time to this time, but after that, I'm going to shut it off. So, for instance, a parent might say you can play Fortnite for 2 hours, and then after that, you've got to play something else, something that is less competitive, a little more relaxing, that kind of thing. So I like that you can turn this on and off on a game by game basis. I think that this is incredibly important. We also have right here game restricted by content rating. So it looks like we'll be able to say my kid can play these games. Any game that is rated up to T for teen, but they can't play the games that are rated M. So then when it pops up, it's going to say, "Oh, you can't approve this because you've said that they can't play these games because of its rating." It also says this game is not available to allow or block because your content rating setting already restricts access to this game. So basically, you don't have to worry about blocking a game. that is already rated M if you blocked the entire rated M. Now, my only problem with this is based on this, it feels to me like what this is saying is I can't block M-rated games, but then allow a specific M-rated game through, which that I don't like. I wish that I had a little more granular control. Of course, this might not be features that we see at all. This is just something from a decompilation. Is that the word? Decompiling? They tore apart the APK and looked at its guts. So we might not see anything with that. All right, Stadia and Google Play. It says here, once a parent has approved a game for a child, there is still a matter of paying for it. They have not, excuse me, they have not told us how we're going to be paying for things, but it looks right here like there is a call for the wallet client for Google Play services built into Google Pay. Now, I've gotten a lot of people asking me to ask John Justice, are we going to be able to pay for games with our Google Play Store cash? And so far, I still don't know the answer, but it seems like we might be able to, which I think is pretty good. Let's go on. It says here, string name, Stadia approved consent info. Allow the publisher to access your child's Stadia friends list in order to offer certain multiplayer and social features within their game. You can change this privacy setting anytime at the specific user URL, and you can learn more about how your child's data is used. This is very good. This is obviously required by law. I'm 99% sure that this is required by law. Like, they can't not do this. They have to notify you how your information is being used, especially for a child's account. So this is the kind of thing that happens on all the platforms. Like, just the other day, I installed Asphalt 9 on my Nintendo Switch, and after installing it, it said, do you want this company, Gameloft, to see your account information? And I said yes, and then I received 2 emails from Nintendo telling me, hey, they can see who your friends list is and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all. This next one, it says, by clicking approve, you agree to the Stadia terms of service, the Google privacy policy, and you describes how it, okay, I don't really care about that one. That's not really important information. Then this string tells us you already said yes, so we don't need to send this to you. Finally, this is pretty interesting. We have the idea of bundles. So it seems like you can buy a bundle and quite often I see things like, I'll use Fortnite as an example. In Fortnite, you can get a bundle which will give you access to the game, obviously, because it's free, but it will also give you things like this pickaxe and this skin. So those things are all bundled together, or maybe some V-Bucks, something like that. Like, so you can buy a bundle, and this is saying, look, this is part of a bundle, and this is the stuff that comes with that bundle. So you can see that ahead of time, and hopefully you can tap on each one of the things in the list and say, oh, okay, well, that thing is $10, and this thing is $10, and this thing is $10, but the bundle itself is $20, so I am saving a $10 by doing that. What would be even better is if they would just do the math for you and show you. I think that that's what they do on Steam, which I think is very, very cool. So anyway, big thanks to 9to5 Google for taking this information from APK Insight and taking it apart for us. I will see you guys on Sunday. I know when the John Justice interview is, but I'm not going to commit to a day because I don't know how long it will take me to edit and get posted. But rest assured, you all will be the first to know when the interview is over. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell so that you get notifications when I post a new video. It also lets Google know that we do good work here, so they will recommend us to other people. And with that being said, we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.